I think reshare, whatever they say on
Sure.
LinkedIn, re-LinkedIn.
Okay, we're
You
live.
gotta, oh, all right, everybody. Welcome to This Week in Startups and Founder University. If you're tuning in live, give us a thumbs up on YouTube. Give a thumbs up for your squad on YouTube. And if you're on LinkedIn, do me a favor, just like it, share it, and perhaps post a comment. Hey, nice to see you. And maybe tell us a little bit about you. Who are you and what do you do? Do the same thing in the YouTube chat. Say hi. What city are you in? What do you do for a living? And um, we have a great program for you today. Founder University cohort number 7. Cohort 7 is completing, and we're about to launch cohort number 8. And so we thought we would share with you some of the top companies. With me is are Kelly and Presh, who run Founder University for Launch. Launch is the venture capital firm I founded. We do 100 investments a year or so every year, and some number of them come out of the Founder University program. Kelly, explain to everybody listening what Founder University is today, going into 2024, and how it's going.
Yeah, absolutely. So, hi, everybody. I'm Kelly. I work on Founder U. Founder University is a 12-week kind of pre-accelerator program that we do here at Launch for founders in the very earliest stages of their journey. So sometimes that means that they are still working on the idea and haven't really put anything on paper yet. That's totally fine with us. We are happy to help out. Outside of that, we also have companies, about probably 20% of companies coming into each cohort are already launched and have a little bit of revenue. And so it's really meant to be a flexible program for founders. Again, just in those early days, what are all the things you should be thinking about and how do you really get your business to have some legs behind it? Outside of that, we look for builder founders. So specifically looking for, developers, designers, UX, UI folks, sales and growth hacking is another great skill we look for. And the idea there is that during the program, we really want you to do the work and to launch it, get it out to the world and get some customers.
Okay. And Presh, maybe you could talk a little bit about what we look for, what stage of companies for Founder University versus, say, Launch Accelerator, which is a program we've now done 31 cohorts of. So, yeah, tell us who should come, what stage, and then what do we look for in the composure of a team or a project for Founder University?
Yeah. So Founder University, we call it like our pre-accelerator. And so before you go to an accelerator, what do you have? You have maybe co-founders, but you have a product, an MVP, or even an idea. And so Founder University is focused on that very early stage, right? You've got your MVP, maybe you even have some users on your product, but it's kind of cobbled together and you're still trying to build it into a company. And so that's where Founder U comes in. We've got the curriculum to help you kind of build the company. In terms of team, right? We see builder founders, and that's what we really look for when we're going through applications, Kelly and I. And then Kelly mentioned what the builder founder is, right? Combination of developer, a growth person, or designer, UI UX, right? That's really what we're optimizing for because they're able to, in the 12 weeks, build an actual product, and by the end of it, ship it, or during the program, ship it and get customers, get users for the product.
Yeah. And one of the great things we do, and the feedback I've gotten from founders who've come to the program is, hey, what a great curriculum. You have 12 weeks. We explain how to grow a company, how to get product market fit, accounting, cap tables, hiring, all the blocking and tackling you're going to have to deal with. When you build a curriculum like this, it's a lot of basic stuff for people who've done 2 or 3 startups. But even the people who've done 2 or 3 startups, a lot of times they'll tell us, hey, 60%, 70%, 80% of the stuff that you put in the curriculum, I knew it already. I'm an expert at this. And then I say, oh, tell me about the 20 or 30%. And like, oh, well, that was life-changing. I didn't realize I had a blind spot. So even people who've done 2 or 3 startups, they find something in the curriculum that they haven't had exposure to before. And then if you're just starting out, my gosh, maybe 2/3 of the curriculum is really helpful. But most helpful is, I think, every Monday checking in and telling us about your progress. So maybe Kelly, you can tell us a little bit about the Monday check-ins and the Thursdays. So again, we have people who've never heard of Founder University listening on LinkedIn or YouTube. Tell the people who've never, been to a pre-accelerator what happens on Monday and Thursday and why we ask people to do that weekly check-in. And then we'll talk about how we make decisions in terms of investment.
Yeah, absolutely. So on Mondays, we have required sessions, and they're required so that you can get the $500 tuition back. We don't want to keep that. We actually
Oh,
want
you
it to
didn't
go back to
explain
you.
that. Explain that from
Yeah.
from the bottom up. Yeah.
Perfect. So there is a $500 tuition with Founder University, but again, we don't want to actually keep that money. And every cohort has well above 90% of tuitions refunded. And the idea is just that at the end of the 12 weeks, we want to make sure that the founders have enough skin in the game, that they're showing up and we're not hanging out just by ourselves. And
Yeah,
so at the
let
end of
me
the 12
explain
weeks, go
that
ahead.
just how we did it. You pay $500 to apply. I'm sorry, you pay $500 to come to the program. If you come all 12 weeks, we refund the $500. Just so there's absolutely no confusion there. And the reason we do it, as Kelly is pointing out too, we want people to show up. When we didn't charge people, they had no skin in the game. They didn't show up, right? And so now we have 94%, 96% come to all 12 weeks.
Yeah. And
Okay.
so from there, on Mondays, we do have these required sessions, and we bring in speakers, experts, and we go through topics that are going to be relevant to everybody in the cohort, hopefully, no matter kind of where you're at in that journey. And then at the end of the cohort, we actually allow you to stay in the community and have access to all of that. So you can always go back and reference those videos at any time in the future as well. And then on Thursdays, what we do is we meet up for a little bit more of an informal session. And at that, we will actually do kind of a continuation of whatever content we covered on Monday. So for example, if we did a whole session around building your bottom up TAM and that path to 100 million in your slides for your pitch deck, on the Thursday, we'll do a deep dive into that. Presh and I are always there to answer questions and have open office hours. And then, we will bring on some additional folks to help out with those and to just create another opportunity for the community to meet and hang out with one another, as well as provide mentorship either from us or others in our community. Outside of that, I think, one of the big values of the program is that community. And so getting to meet other founders is a big piece of it. And the last thing that Jason had asked about is the weekly update. So we actually have founders submit a weekly update. And interestingly enough, we actually see founders even after the cohort still submit them. So that's always fun. But in that weekly update, we ask very high level information about your business. So have you added any co-founders? Have you added any new users? Have you added any customers to the business? What's your revenue now? Have you fundraised? And then we ask a question at the end. Are you interested in the different ways that we invest? And what we're looking at every week, week over week, is the different progress that you're making, the product velocity, and then hopefully we find a lot of great businesses in each cohort that we can invest in.
Yeah. And so let me bring Mike Savino into the discussion here. Mike's the president of Launch and a GP at the firm. And so, Mike, what the strategy we have as a venture firm, just for people who are listening who are in the venture capital space, is we are investing 25K or 125K into early stage startups. We'll give some of these founders at Founder University a 25K check at $1 million valuation. Maybe they're not even incorporated yet. We become the first money in on the cap table, $1 million valuation. So we buy 2.5% of the company, and then maybe we invest in the next two rounds. And if they want 125K, like the Techstars, Y Combinator, 500 startups, standard deal in Silicon Valley, 125K for 7%. We do both of those first investments, but maybe you could explain as a venture capital firm why we make those, let's say, 200 investments in this fund four, and what the goal is in terms of follow-on funding for them.
Sure. Thanks, Jason. As a venture capital firm, the risk at this stage is obviously very, very high. And there have been a lot of very smart people, smarter than us, have done a lot of the math on this. And that you have to have a broad range of investments to get a return for your LPs. And, we have LPs here at Launch, just like every other venture capital firm. Sometimes people forget that, I think.
Yeah.
And so the rationale is you have to have a diverse set of investments, and in the industry that's referred to as beta, right? And we think that we provide one of the best sets of beta by making all those investments at this stage so wide, and get to know you And over time, with our efforts, we participate on boards and we do check-in calls and we monitor you through the program. And that information over time informs us to do secondary investments. Jason has developed these terms, likely winner and a definitive winner. Jason's very big on language. And, essentially we're looking for how well you do in future funding. We're going to train you to pitch. We're going to train you to build a company that will be attractive for venture capital investment. But ultimately, it's up to you to convince a later stage investor that you've earned that investment. And we're going to watch those, we'll evaluate those, and then we'll choose to either continue investing or not based on your track record, based on the other investors, and how deeply they're committed into it. So our overarching theme when we're looking at companies and discussing them is capital efficiency. We look for founders that are capital efficient. What does that mean? You're a builder founder, you can get a lot more done with less money if you're writing your own code, or at least if one member of the founding team is writing their own code. We look for business models that are capital efficient. So B2B SaaS, marketplaces, fintech, business models that don't require a lot of inventory-based capital to run the company. And so that's a very capital efficient business model. And then ultimately, finally, over time, we're going to look at your track record. And is your track record demonstrate capital efficiency? Even at this early stage, we'll probably be able to see how you spend money and how far you can go on a little bit of money. But as time goes on, more and more the qualitative assessments will diminish and the quantitative one will become the dominant way you get evaluated. How far have you taken the company on X amount of investment? And so one of the things you have to be careful of is raising too much money and then not producing enough revenue in either run rate or ARR, depending on how you measure it in your particular business model over time. Because the ratio of what you raise to how far you take the company, while it doesn't have an exact formula, is kind of the ultimate determinant down the road in 2 or 3 years for you.
Yeah. And so we're giving you a really wide overview of the venture capital business here as we start, because it's important for founders to know if they choose to go the venture capital route, how they'll be assessed. We are making very qualitative decisions, not quantitative ones in the early stage. If you were buying a public stock like Netflix, you could look at their churn rate and how many subscribers they have, how much revenue, Uber or Airbnb makes per transaction. There's a lot of data to go on. Here at the early stage, we're looking at qualitative stuff, your product velocity, as demonstrated in those weekly check-ins. We wind up doing follow-on investing in maybe 1 out of 20 or 30 companies in our portfolio. So we are not a permanent source of capital. We're an early stage investor. We'll do your pre-seed, seed round, your accelerator round, and we might participate, like I said, in 1 out of 25 or so companies in their Series A. And then it's up to the venture capital community to invest in companies after that. We're a pre-seed and an accelerator fund. There are other funds that specialize in Series A, like you've heard of Benchmark, Sequoia, et cetera. And we're trying to help you get to that point. Okay, let's get started here. Tons of information for people watching of our strategy. And we love what we do. I think one of the important things to understand about venture capital is if you choose it as a profession, it's really hard. And you have to pick the ecosystem that you want to operate in. Some people like to do growth stage, Series B, Series C, very quantitative. Other people like to do the Series A, very concentrated, and you've eliminated product market fit from the equation. The companies, when they get to Series A, have product market fit, most typically in Silicon Valley. And then some people choose to run accelerators or a pre-accelerator like Foundry University. And that means you're working with the most nascent companies at their inception point. Why do we do that? Well, I get the most enjoyment out of it. And when you're a venture capitalist and you get to start a fund, it's really hard. The reward you get is you get to pick in the ecosystem where you want to live. We've chosen to live in year 0, the first year of a company when they're figuring it out and just getting formed. So let's get started. Let's meet 15 companies. They have 2 minutes each. We'll do cohorts of 4 or so companies. And then Mike and I will tell you which one is our number 1, which one is our number 2 for that cohort. At the end, we'll tell you our top 3 and why.
Okay. All right. First up, we're going to have the team at AI Synapse.
Hi guys, how's it going?
Hello, we can hear you and we can see it. It's not full screen.
Perfect.
All right, we'll count you in. 3, 2, go.
So we are building your own AI BDR agent. Our solution is focused on helping you automate your entire sales funnel. Right now, you have a blanket approach where you're sending 10,000 emails a week and you get less than 1% reply rate. The other one is a more personalized approach using LinkedIn and other tools. The point is you spend 75% of your time on using and learning new tools to do your outbound. Our goal is that you spend 95% of your time using AI to build those human relationships and talking to your customers. Now, how do we do that? Our AI asks you a few questions based on to understand your ICP. Once it does that, it researches their LinkedIn, their social media profiles, write hyper-personalized outbound emails and DMs in your writing style. And when somebody replies back to you, have a two-way conversation with the prospects, book a meeting in your calendar, and give you pre-meeting notes saying like, hey, this is what the prospect likes, this is what he doesn't like. And by the way, these are some of the potential problems our solution is good for them. And also show you a like call recommendation saying like, hey, the body language changed, the tone of the person changed. And once the call is done, write a post follow-up email, and then manage the entire thing in CRM. Currently, SVP is using a platform and booking 7 meetings for every 25 emails they're sending. And apart from that, we have a really agentic based model. There's a lot going on here, I know, but we have multiple different agents making sure that you have the best quality output that you get. And currently, we just launched in the second week of April. We are making 1,496 a month at the moment. We have a basic SaaS subscription, a done with you offer where you have somebody helping you with the process, and an enterprise offer. Currently, we're using our own tool just to get new customers. That's it. And after we get to 1 million ARR, we'll be using a couple of other like advertising and everything else in there. Right now, we have the head of AI strategy for Microsoft. He just become our advisor last week because the way we're building our platform. I used to be a growth hacker. I used to scale start from 0 to 1 million ARR in 12 months or less. Yeah, that's my time, I think.
All right, Jason, are we going to do questions now or do all of them and then go back?
Let's do all of them and keep them on a tight schedule. And when they have
Perfect.
5 seconds left, just break in and say 5 seconds. Or when they have 10 seconds left, say 10 seconds, and then they'll wrap up.
Perfect. Okay, next we'll have Alpha Flow.
Yeah, I'll share my screen.
All right, and we can hear you.
Can you see that?
We can. All right, 3, 2, go.
Hey everyone, how many of y'all have ever had any remodeling or any work done in your house? If so, you have talked to a residential contractor, and these are the set of people we're trying to help. My name is Nitin, and today I'll be presenting you Better Built, the leading weather solution management platform for the residential construction industry. What we're trying to do, we're trying to empower the industry with predictive weather analytics, streamline communication in order to improve job site safety and accelerate productivity. Weather is the #1 bottleneck in residential construction. Contractors struggle making decisions around the weather every single day. Every job site is impacted by the weather because of the following: unsafe job site conditions, lack of centralization, unsatisfied customers, and all this leads to a decrease in revenue. So our application, we provide a web app and a mobile app, which provides real-time forecasted weather data, seamless team communication, optimal productivity hours, and daily weather summary report. We're focusing on home builders for our target market, and we're B2B SaaS. We provide 3 different pricing tiers depending on the team. Based on our competitor analysis, we found that no one's doing anything for the residential space. It's a huge blue ocean opportunity. We're focusing on home builders and we'll eventually expand to other avenues. Right now, we're launching a pilot program for a few select contractors, and we received a grant to pursue the hardware portion of our idea. Our team, me and my co-founder, we've been building this out. We have someone on our team who previously exited as a construction startup, and our advisor who's worked for top construction startups and helped them in the past. Yeah, thank you all for listening.
All right, thank you so much. You can pull your slides down. Next up, we will have the team at Chat With. All right, we can see that it's not full screen just yet, Caesar. And I haven't heard you.
Hi.
Okay, now we can hear you and we see it. 3, 2, go.
Thank you. I'm Cesar, the founder of ChatWith. We help micro businesses selling with WhatsApp. Why we do it? Because users don't like email, phone calls. They prefer a chat, and WhatsApp is the number one chat platform. We focus on service companies because it's where a conversation with an agent can really make a difference. What we do is help businesses share WhatsApp everywhere, TikTok, Instagram, their website, and we connect with the CRM if they have one. Also, we help them understand what is working and what is not working so they can invest more in the channels that help them sell. And now we are doing more tools so we can become their daily tool for marketing and sales, bookings, payments, and some agents. The feedback and the engagement is being phenomenal. I mean, we really transform how this business work and operate everywhere, and the businesses really love the solution. This is the funnel. The funnel is very simple. We do a lot of content, YouTube and marketing content. So we create visitors, visitors become users, users become customers. So that's super simple. And we also work with partners. Partners are like Yellow Pages and marketplaces. Last year, we did almost $500,000 in revenue. This year, we are doing 2x year over year, and we sell everywhere in the world, South America, the US, Asia, Africa. This is a worldwide solution. This is the team. We've been together for the last 20 years. We love what we do, and we hope you can join us. We really want to create the best tool for the micro businesses. We really want to transform these underserved businesses, and we want to create the mail team for WhatsApp. So hope you join us. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much. Go ahead and take that down. Next up, we will have, for the last company in this group, Clean Bands.
Hello, everyone.
All right. We can hear you, Dave. And we see it. 3, 2, go.
Hi, everyone. I'm Dave, founder and CEO of Clean Bands. We are digitizing hand washing for fast food and casual brand chains. Hand washing is the most important food safety control because it's hard to manage and it becomes invisible after the fact. Food service workers wash their hands only 1 out of 3 times that they should, and that's a problem because according to the CDC, 90% of foodborne illness outbreaks in restaurants are caused by poor hand washing. Our proprietary SaaS-enabled wearable solution uses traffic light colors to alert and remind food service workers to wash their hands. Our band tracks and uses AI to validate all of the wash events. Our software summarizes and tracks compliance ratings for stakeholders, and there's even a marketing layer for consumers. The market size is big. In the single vertical of restaurants, there's over 400,000 prospective locations. Now, at $15 a day, that's a $2.5 billion SAM in the single vertical alone. Our ICP targets are the 1,500 chain fast food brands that operate more than 100 locations. Our path to being a $100 million company needs only a 4% market penetration, but still has 74% gross margin. This is a true innovation that we have a granted US patent on. Our current competition is primarily signs, forms, and apathy. We are the first and only ones to bring a visible, trackable, and accountable SaaS wearable to the food industry. So we've built the app and we're into our 3rd generation hardware. We've got 7 pilots going on and we're advancing on our plan to get the initial 1,000 low-cost bands into use. On top of thousands of industry, customer, and consumer discovery conversations, we've also won a National Industry Judged Food Innovation Award of $250,000. I am an experienced senior executive, entrepreneur, operator, and multi-exited founder, currently leading the Clean Bands team of 6. Prior to starting Clean Bands, I was running a business that I founded in 2016 that was doing $50 million, and most of that was in disposable gloves for food service. So I really understand hand hygiene. We are on a mission to highlight hand hygiene compliance in restaurants. Imagine a world where you can walk into a restaurant and be assured with a visible front door rating and compliance indication that proves they're taking your health seriously. Thank you.
Fantastic. All right, go ahead and take those slides down. All right, so we'll go ahead and move over to Jason and Mike for their top choices.
Okay, super exciting. Obviously, the last one is kind of mind-blowing. My question is, how often do people at McDonald's, I'm just picking one brand, a fast food chain like McDonald's, looking for a very specific answer here. How often do they have to, Dave, wash their hands Is it by time or is it by task? Tight answer, please.
Absolutely by task, but by doing it by time, you are making sure that when they forget by task, it is done. So typically a restaurant worker should be washing their hands 4 to 6 times per hour.
4 to 6 times per hour. Okay, good. You give a nice, tight, short answer. You listen to my question. That's great. That means I get time to ask you a second question. Second question is, would it not be easier to have a check-in station where people wash their hands and just put a camera there, have people come up, it automatically knows who they are based on facial recognition. They wash their hands, it records how many seconds, it gives them a countdown clock. And so why pick this watch solution versus having people go up to the sink and doing it with a camera?
So that's on the roadmap. What we're doing is we're making sure that they are actually washing their hands. So they're going to the sink station. We're checking them in with a little wash node. So we're verifying that they're actually doing that.
My question though is, the camera could do that as well. You're saying that's on the roadmap. So is the answer
doesn't
to my
remind?
Question,
yeah, so the wearable reminds people. That's what we found in Discovery. It's reminding them to actually do it based on task and so on.
Great answer. Yeah. Now, and then my third question, are there other, this seems like a niche, an important niche, but a niche. Are there other food safety items on the roadmap? And if so, what are the next 2 food safety programs you're going to run to keep people from getting sick from eating at restaurants?
2 biggest things in food safety are temperature control and hand hygiene. So on the roadmap are more sort of IoT temperature monitoring controls for steam pans and refrigerators and so on, things like that.
That's really great. Even in a short presentation like this, I would say we're tackling this problem today. The next problem we're going to tackle is the temperature with these very simple gauges that go into steam trays like this one. And that's just wonderful. What do people pay for it? How do you charge?
I lay it out as $15 a day. That turns into about $5,000 all in per year per restaurant.
Got it. So a McDonald's for about $5,000 a year can get compliance on this issue.
Correct.
And that should save them from penalties and fines, I guess,
100%.
How do you sell it?
And foodborne illness outbreaks. Chipotle paid a $25 million fine for food related problems. So that's the type of thing that we can prevent.
Awesome. Mike, you're up.
Yeah, that was a great presentation, Dave. Is on your go-to-market roadmap, is there any way that you're going to try and convince, local jurisdictions to require this? I mean, obviously, if there's a pull from the government to do this, because right now it's kind of like you're doing this on your own to prevent yourself. But if it were mandated, it might be interesting.
Totally agree. So I view the easiest path to market is to find a champion, innovator, sort of tier 1 brand. We get it into place. The second and the tier 2, tier 3, that will follow, and pushing with legislation that's how we'll drag in the other 400,000 restaurants into actually complying. So 5 years from now, you're going to expect that sign on the door.
All right. Moving on to AI Synapse. You said you have Silicon Valley Bank as a customer. How many months have they been using the product, or weeks?
For 3 months now.
3 months, 12 weeks. Great. How many people do they have using the product? Is it 1 person, 2 people?
So they started with 1 person. Now they have 6 people.
6 people. How much did they pay you, or are they paying you this month for the service for 6 people?
They're not paying anything right now. We just got the final approval last week from the MD. So far they were just testing it. They just got approved.
How much will they pay? So the answer to my question is 0. Got it. They're paying 0. How much will they pay next month?
I haven't set a price yet, but I'm thinking around $2,000 per user per month.
$24,000 a year. Wow. Okay. And so what you see happening here is I'm asking very tight questions to Saad. Am I pronouncing your name correct? Saad, yeah?
Yeah, that's good.
So Saad, great job. Short answers means we can volley back and forth, and we get to something important. So now Mike and I, both of us, I saw Mike go, and I went, wait a second. We haven't seen somebody charge $24,000 for a product. So if there's 6 people, that means $12,000 a month. $12,000 a month means $144,000 a year for 6 people to use this product. Wow. $150K a year is what you're planning on charging SVB, just to be clear.
Yes, that's correct. That's what I'm planning on doing.
will they justify that? Have you had a conversation with them? Has something happened in the last 12 weeks that makes it easy for them to justify $24,000 per person?
They're paying almost more than double than this price currently with the other existing solutions they have right now. So I've had a conversation with the internal team before.
Got it. So you are getting rid of SDRs, sales development reps, making it completely automated, or are you using a little bit of human, a little bit of AI?
Our goal is to make your SDR job more human and automate the entire manual task.
Okay. So right now, is it all software, or is it software plus some humans in Manila or offshored? Tell me about the current solution.
The current solution we have is 95% software and 5% solution to managing the software.
Got it. Perfect. These are great answers. Really great job. Mike, do you have questions for anybody else in the cohort, or should we just go right to voting?
Well, I just want to. I know Saad. We did a couple of sessions in New York. Nice to see you again. One of the things Jason was pointing out is this issue of pricing. And when we're doing an analysis on a company, we do something called a bottom-up TAM, and I'm pretty sure all of you have been to Kelly's class on this. One of the things is difficult is a $99, a $500, and then an enterprise. It's hard at your stage to focus on all those, but certainly when you hear somebody willing to charge enterprise level pricing, which certainly $2,000 a month, I made that face because I was happy about it. I think if you're there's enough ROI analysis to do this. Where do you think you're going to wind up focusing? Which market? Because you're not going to be able to do all three.
We are pre-product market fit, so that's why we are focusing on these three solutions. We are seeing good traction on all three of them, most on the $500 per month one. But if we go more on that, if we get more traction on the enterprise level, that's where I want to focus on. But so far, we are getting good number of customers on the middle section of $500 a month.
Yeah, and to Mike's point, there's many different ways you can do this. You have startups that you have HubSpot or Spotify. They're going for small e-commerce, small marketers, small home office, medium-sized companies, or smaller. Then you have people like Salesforce or Magento. I believe they go for the bigger, more enterprise. And so Mike's right. Usually you got to pick one here. And the good news is, it seems like both of those markets are interested. I've seen your product many times. You've been to a couple of our programs, so congratulations on being here again. It looks like you're making great progress. I know you were in the 7th cohort, I think, as well. So great job on continued growth. I didn't understand exactly what
Better built.
Yeah, I didn't understand exactly what the product was. What's your perception, Mike, of what the product is for?
So I think
Alpha,
sometimes we look at companies that are creating a new market versus companies that are going to compete and they have different challenges. But the question I would have here is why not just use a weather app? Like there wasn't enough demonstration of the product. I think all of the presentations could have shown the product a little bit more. But in this case, what's happening in your application that you can't get from AccuWeather or any other weather thing?
Yeah, that's a good question. So basically, at the job sites, we can get more hyper localized weather data, whether that be through our sensors or whatever we provide. And from there, we can figure out what sort of impact it has to safety. So any sort of advisories when it comes to let's say lightning or high amount of wind, this kind of stuff is more tailored to a job site. And these contractors can then send it out, relay it to other team members, and then reallocate team members accordingly.
Okay. I'm going to go with my number 1 being AI Synapse, and my number 2 being for this cohort, Clean Bands. I like both of these as enterprise solutions. Now, enterprise companies tend to have smaller outcomes with less risk, right? So if you're doing a consumer product, it tends to be much harder. If you're doing an enterprise product, you tend to get to a couple million in revenue much faster. But I do like both these companies, and all 4 companies have real customers, and they're figuring out product market fit. And I think they're all important. So I just want to say, really great, strong start here. Mike, who's your number 1? Who's your number 2 in this cohort?
I had the same 2, but I had them reversed.
Okay.
I think both founders of Clean Bands and AI are second-time founders. That's something that we look at in our qualitative assessments of companies. They both have good revenue. I think Clean Bands is interesting because it's created a new market, AI Synapse. There's a lot of companies that we know out there that help with that same product. So they're going to have to fight through the noise, but I do think both will be successful.
Okay, great. Let's do our next cohort nice and fast. Let's keep the train moving.
Awesome. Next up, we will have LifeStack. All right, we can see it. Hello, hello. Can we hear you?
All right, can you guys hear me?
We can. All right, 3, 2, go.
Okay. All right. Oh, sorry. Hi, I'm the co-founder and CEO of DMind, and we're building LifeStack, the only calendar app with energy in mind. Meet Mike. Mike is a health-conscious, busy professional whose motto is do more with less. While he's committed to his health and productivity, he often feels groggy in the mornings, takes arbitrary breaks, and loses all of his energy by midday, resulting in low productivity and burnout. Currently, no existing calendar apps can help him schedule with energy in mind, and he also uses wearable devices, but they can only give him generic feedback since they lack an understanding of his personal life. So we built LifeStack, the only calendar with energy in mind. While users first sign in and connect their health data, we then visualize their energy levels throughout the day alongside their calendar events. Currently, we utilize sleep data and circadian rhythm to determine energy levels, but eventually we plan to incorporate more detailed metrics such as heart rate variability or even glucose levels. By utilizing these energy levels, users can plan their days accordingly. For instance, they may choose to tackle their most important tasks when their energy levels is at its peak and save lighter tasks like sending emails for times when they have lower energy levels. Right now, our business model is a B2C subscription. However, we're open to expanding into B2B or team plan down the line. Over 200 people have signed up for our app, and 65 of them joined this month following the launch of our closed beta test. We were featured in a newsletter dedicated to wearable technology. We've tried a few go-to-market strategies, but so far posting in online communities like Reddit has been the most effective for us. We're also in discussion with a very famous sleep doctor, and we hope partnerships with experts like him will be another effective funnel. We started developing the app about 4 months ago, and just 2 weeks ago, we launched closed beta on both the App Store and Play Store. We're aiming to get out of beta by June this year. We're a team with strong backgrounds in neurotechnology and AI. And lastly, ToolFinder, a permanent media outlet in the productivity tool space, noted in their 2024 trends prediction that health is an overlooked aspect of productivity. So we'll be the ones to tackle this gap. Thank you.
Fantastic. All right, go ahead and take your slides down. Next up, we will have the team at Mitris. All right, we can see it.
Sharing my screen.
There we go. All right, count in 3, 2, go.
Hi, my name is Ansh Malik, co-founder of Mithras AI, and we are building an AI-powered business phone. Meet Joe, our ICP. He runs his own plumbing business. Over 60% of his services are booked over the phone. As you can imagine, he gets a lot of phone calls, and every phone call he misses is missed business. Between balancing work, life, and his phone, Joe is overwhelmed. But worry not, Joe, Mithras AI is here. The process is simple. Joe signs up and gets a dedicated business phone line. No more mixing personal and business. He enters some business details like pricing, hours, FAQs, picks a voice and character Emma for his phone, integrates his calendar for appointments, and boom, his business phone is now alive. Joe can now focus on his work and life while Emma handles all incoming phone calls.
Hi, this is Springfield Plumbing Services. How may I help you?
And not a single call or business is missed. Joe's calendar is getting booked even while he sleeps. Ethan, who owns the solar installation business, can even upload leads and have Emma cold call them to book consultations and book new business. But that's not it. Every call is recorded and analyzed by our AI, giving Ethan and Joe insights into what customers want, when to give them promos, when to call back, and so much more. Joe and Ethan's business phone is not just a phone anymore. It's a growth machine, and that's what we want to empower. All this at a subscription price starting from $250 a month. We are still early. We launched our closed beta a couple of weeks ago. Since then, we have 1 paid customer and we're onboarding 5 free pilot users. We have already saved over 12 hours of talk time. We are currently testing our partnership with Blink CRM. Once we launch in the next few weeks, all the phone calls made by any customer using their AI sales styler will be made by us. With 1,000 plus businesses on Blink, this should skyrocket our growth. There's 2.5 million home services businesses in US, rendering our market size to $15 billion. We need to acquire 1,700 customers for 10 million ARR. Between our outbound sales and strategic partnership, our goal is to reach 100 million by 2030. Here's our competition, and here's the team that will make it happen. 2 talented engineers and 1 quirky GTM specialist. Thank you.
Awesome. All right. Thank you so much. Go ahead and take down your slides. Next up, we'll move to the public board.
Can you hear me okay?
I can.
Just gonna get this to full screen.
All right.
Okay.
Perfect. 3, 2, go.
Hi, I'm Eric, CEO and co-founder of The Public Board. We're decentralizing access to digital billboards everywhere. Our product aims to make it as easy as sending a tweet to every digital billboard in the country and beyond. This is the construction company I used to own. When I owned it, I wanted to display on digital billboards, but I didn't because it was really painful and slow. So after I sold it, I thought, this is a cool business model to go and solve for other people. The easiest way to test out some of these assumptions and theories was to lease a digital billboard truck, easiest way to market. And we did that for 4 days at a conference. We had over 900 pieces of images uploaded by over 700 free accounts that were created, 147 of which paid for upgrades, generating us about $21,000 in revenue. Our business model is to give one free display spot to everyone and then upsell from there with live on-demand rates, recurring subscriptions like Google Ads, and search pricing like Uber. And the right side of the screen is the UI that we used for the last activation. Our customers love the photos and they share them on social media, which means they do our marketing for us. It's super cool. There is competitors out there, but I've tried a bunch of them, but really they're just living in the past and we're bringing in the future. Our go-to-market strategy is to acquire a large digital billboard in a major city and give one free display spot to every single person who lives in that city, giving us a 100x increased TAM over our competitors. Then we can show other billboard owners how they can double their revenue. And when they point to our network, we can start locking out our competitors. We're doing some product tweets and revamping right now. We have another event activation to test it out, get more feedback. We're in the middle of looking for our first permanent location, and then we can activate our MRR and scale and grow from there. On a per second basis, we had more than 10 times the top line sales revenue average than Lamar, which is an $11 billion publicly traded company. And we think that that represents a really interesting $1 billion opportunity for us. My co-founder and I are repeat founders. We've known each other for years. We're really happy to be here. My name is Eric, the CEO and co-founder of The Public Board. Thank you.
Fantastic. All right. And we have one more company in this group. We'll go next to One Review.
Cool. Can you guys
Perfect.
see my screen?
We can. We hear you. 3, 2, go.
Hi, my name is Josh, and I'm the CEO of One Review. 90% of customers read reviews before purchasing a product online. It takes years for merchants to build up a meaningful number of reviews, and it's almost impossible to have review coverage across all products. One Review is an e-commerce app that finds ratings and reviews of a merchant's products across the internet and uses them to generate summary star ratings and reviews to display on their own product pages. Meet Mike, the CEO of Partify. Partify is a reseller of car parts with millions of dollars of annual revenue and over 20,000 parts. Approximately 35% of Mike's products don't have reviews. Mike knows reviews for these products exist online, but he can't use them to convert potential customers to purchasers. To solve this, Mike uses One Review. First, he selects the products that he wants summary reviews and star ratings for. One Review's AI then finds existing reviews for that product, summarizes them, and posts that summary star rating review on the corresponding product page. The result? Mike's product pages that originally had no reviews will now convert 25% better on average. Our path to 10 million ARR in 3 years will be focusing on just Shopify and WooCommerce merchants. We'll then expand to all major e-commerce platforms and deepen our enterprise offerings to get to 100 million ARR. One Review is a SaaS business model that charges users a monthly subscription fee. For traction, we went from no code written in January to approved in the Shopify App Store by the end of February. During last month's testing period, we signed 3 merchants, one of which agreed to a $6,000 12-month deal. We just launched billing and the automation of summaries using a major LLM's API this weekend and began full marketing on Monday, signing 2 additional merchants since then. There's one direct competitor on the market, Platoria. They just launched in January of 2024. The rest are indirect competitors, including review importer apps and standard review apps. As for our team, I'm a previous co-founder of a dropshipping company that did over 250,000 revenue in its first year. My co-founder and CTO, Wilson, is a software engineer and also previous tech co-founder. And we have Simon, a front-end Shopify developer, on contract. Thank you.
All right, over to Jason and Mike.
Wow, another great cohort. I'll start with the public board. I find this fascinating, fun, dangerous, exciting to let people post whatever they want. I guess my question for you is, do you see yourself primarily as a software platform that people who have networks of digital boards will license and use your software? Or do you see yourself as being asset heavy, where you want to acquire and build your own network of public boards and have the full stack? Which one is it? Or
So long term, we see it as a network that other owners would be able to point towards. Short term, however, we need full control over those boards in order to properly do this. And so there's a discussion right now. I think we need our own first spot that we own and control fully, and then we can prove that out and then expand it as a network.
So you want to find one billboard, or you want to find one truck, or you want to find one,
ideally one
restaurant?
large digital billboard in like a major city, and
Got it.
You start from there.
What would it cost to rent one of those for the month?
Depending location, you can get between 3,000 to 10,000 a month, or you can buy a board for like $1 million, or you can get a permit and build your own for about 300 grand.
Got it. So it'll cost you to test this for, say, 6 months. Might be a reasonable test, or 3 months. Something like $30,000 to $60,000.
Yeah, that we got an offer for a board already from an owner in exactly that range.
Great. Awesome. So I think that's really interesting. I do think the mobile one is super fascinating too, because you get to be part of events or some local, and you can run more tests. So if you rent one location, you get, 3 months on, Main Street or whatever. But if you were to bring it to Coachella and park it on a street somewhere, I don't know what the rules and regs are for those, or driving it around a city. But I do think getting weird and having fun with this and making it crazy is a really good idea. So I would, and I do like your idea of letting anybody do it, and then you can upsell them, and I think also sending people a picture of their billboard. There's something fun about that as well. And so I like the playfulness of this. I would say lean into that even more. Really interesting idea. And then, Mike, you have a question for anybody?
Sure. For LifeStack, sometimes it's hard to move your calendar around. So you're suggesting putting high energy activities when you have a lot of energy. Have you thought about maybe coaching people into getting more energy during the times when they need it? I used an app that helped with jet lag, and it helped you rearrange your schedule so that you would have less of effect with jet lag. And I thought that was interesting. So I was wondering if you had thought about the reverse.
Right. I mean, I didn't touch it on the pitch, but we actually have this teaser feature called energy boosting, where if you click it, it just like automatically schedules energy boosting activities in your calendar. So yeah, we're definitely thinking something like this. Yeah.
I put these under, just so you know, like how cynical the industry can be. When they see a group planning app, a photo sharing app, or a calendar app, they're like, Yaka, yet another calendar app. I just made that up, but you will face that. And so I think it's really important for you to have those customers and who are so over the moon about it, that you can break through the cynicism in the industry. So, hey, I came up with an app that helps you plan events, because people plan events in Excel or Google Docs or in, a WhatsApp group. Doesn't that suck? And everybody nods. Yeah, that sucks. But then they don't remember the app. Where Mike is like, oh yeah, when you have jet lag, which, happens once a year or twice a year. And so I use that jet lag app again. And I was like, I'm trying to remember the name of it. I can't even remember the name of it. It's free for what is it called?
FlyFit, I think.
I think maybe, yeah. And I used it once, and then I forgot about it. And, I do worry about this. So I really recommend bear hugging your customers. These quantified self customers are lunatics. I think you need to get to like $100 a year for this app. And, to have tens of thousands of people who really want it and get enough value from it. So if you're passionate about it and you think that audience is there, great. But I would be open-minded to, other products outside of calendar and energy, that you discover along the way that make this an essential, strong product market fit space. We see a lot of niche apps. I always talk about Slopes, the skiing app I use. And, what you really need to do is get something like FitPod, which we're investors in, Tonebase, education for music. FitPod is an app for, and Calm for meditation. FitPod is fitness training, like weights and stuff like that. So, really owning a niche. It's hard. It takes time. You got to be slow and patient. And I wish you luck with it. It takes a lot of effort. And then we have our other two. Mitris with the inbound and outbound phone calls. I believe this is going to work. I'm super annoyed by these things. I hate the phone. I'm not a phone person. So I think figuring out how to make this work in multiple modalities like WhatsApp and other places could work. Interesting. And I do think you need to think about your beachhead market really, really deftly here. This is a good moment to just talk about beachhead market and what that means, your ideal customer profile. A beachhead market means there typically has a couple of things in common. So when you pick a beachhead market, there's typically existing solutions. So as we saw with SDRs in the previous cohort or the previous group, people might be using SDRs like Silicon Valley Bank. They might have SDR software. They might use an outsourced SDR. You get the idea. Number two, you know who the customers are. So you know who the customers are. You know what solutions they're currently using. So you know what you're up against. Those people tend to bring the solution with them to their next company. So the executives might use Salesforce or Zendesk. They go to the next company. They're like, oh, we got to move to Zendesk. Here's why. So they become kind of like advocates for whichever platform they like most. And they tend to talk to each other about these solutions. There's a little bit of chatter in the industry happening somewhere, a message board, an industry event. And so I would think very thoughtfully about your beachhead market. I don't have a question about that, but I just wanted to just highlight beachhead markets. And Kelly, do we have any curriculum on ideal customer profile with beachhead markets and those qualities I just talked about?
We do, and I will definitely take another look at it and make sure it's very robust.
Yeah, we might want to just clip this and just maybe talk about that beachhead market concept. I know Mike and I.
Yeah, Crossing the Chasm is a great book that discusses this very concept, and I always refer to Raul Vora at Superhuman online. That's a great presentation he has on product market fit.
So yeah, let's just make sure that we really beef that up. Mike, any other questions for this cohort, or do you want to go right to the
for one review? I was just curious, what e-commerce platforms do you integrate with?
Currently just Shopify, but expanding to the bigger ones soon after.
Okay. And the aggregation of those reviews is important for these customers. They tell you that they can't keep on top of all the reviews. They're using it as a monitoring service or really as an SEO play. What are they telling you, your customers?
Yeah, the biggest thing is products without reviews at all. Once you're able to aggregate it, you're able to turn those products from no reviews to like over 100 overnight. And so that makes a big difference for conversion.
Got it. So you go find reviews around the web and tell them. And is there any kind of like real-time Google Alerts opportunity here? I know if I had a product in market, I would really like to know about people chatting about it in real time. And does that kind of Google Alerts for products exist in the world already?
It does. And it kind of like we're focused on like the conversion aspect of it for the merchants.
Got it.
So like there are review aggregators elsewhere, but we're trying to like make sure we're focused on the product conversion piece of it.
Yeah. I really love the idea of being able to understand in real time, but I might be a weirdo. I was just thinking, even as a consumer, I started getting into this like high-end audio fidelity. These super fan of one of my podcasts sent me a pair of crazy headphones. And now I'm like going online looking for people talking about these headphones because I'm so enamored by them. So this is a weird behavior where after you've bought something, wanting to hear people chat about it. I don't know if there's an opportunity there, Josh, but the
brain is turning for sure. This is a good idea.
So like, I don't know if anybody else has had this experience, but you buy some kitchen appliance, let's say, and you're enamored by your air fryer or your toaster oven, whatever, coffee machine. And then you want to hear chatter about it post it happening. I wonder if there's some way to build a public log file for one review for high-end things that would be a way for you to get people as customers. So here's a strategy for you. Pick something incredibly high-end. So let me just show you what I'm talking about here. Hey, Pressure, somebody, can you pull up headphones.com?
Yeah.
And just share it on the screen. I just want to show you like how I think this might work for you. So I met the person who sent me these headphones is from headphones.com. Really nice person. They have this e-commerce site. I'll introduce you to them. And then go to like the headphones, go to over ear and pull up focal. Yeah, thank you. And pull up these like focal bathies. You see them there? Second choice. Click on this. So these are like the greatest headphones ever that are wireless. They have a DAC, a digital audio conversion, put in whatever. And you can see how considered a purchases these are. This is like $800. I then went to Reddit. I found people talking literally about these headphones, and I'm like down the rabbit hole. If I was you and I was trying to get customers, I would make a page like this, and you get all the way to the bottom and you see these reviews. I spend a lot of time in these reviews trying to find like relevance or interesting things. I'm not sure how they're aggregating their reviews, but obviously reviews are a big part of this. Now, since you have this AI working already, I would find the highest considered purchased items in niches. And then I would take your website and then I would make a real-time tracker on your website that every day, every hour goes out and finds these things. Then I would share that with your potential customers. And I would use the automated AI that the company was doing in your cohort for Silicon Valley Bank to find out who runs, just that one headphone company and the other ones, and send them a link to that page and say, hey, we do a weekly report and a daily report and an instant report. Would you like to sign up for it? And basically create Google Alerts as a tool to get customers. Because if I'm running this headphone company and you could tell me I could get alerts when people start talking about my product anywhere, and you would summarize it for me, that would be a way for you to build a tool, and people come for the tool and they stay for the network, they stay for the SaaS product, right? So anyway, I'm just brainstorming with you here, but I think there's like, since you're doing this work already, if you publicly expose some amount of that work, you could use it as bait to get people into your ecosystem. Really interesting. Mike, who's your number one? Who's your number two?
My number two was One Review. My number one was Public Board.
Very interesting. I am going to go, I have the same two, and I'm just trying to figure out what order to put them in. I'm going to go Public Board number one. I'm going to go One Review number two. But I think all four are really good businesses as well. Yeah. So we had the same.
This is great cohorts. All 8 companies so far have been great.
Yeah, 8 strong companies so far. Yeah.
Okay, we have another group. We've got Pouncer AI up next. We can see it.
Excellent. You can hear me?
Yes. All right, Sean, 3, 2, go.
Hello, my name is Sean Jackson, the CEO and co-founder of Pouncer AI, a SaaS tool that helps freelancers get more work from Upwork fast. Let me show you. Since launching in January, we have generated more than $21,000 in revenue from 255 users in a combination of lifetime memberships and subscription sales. Let me show you how it works. Harlan is a freelancer who wants a faster way to find and apply for jobs on Upwork. So he logs into the tool and, using our AI-powered system, quickly reviews jobs perfect for his skills. And once he finds a job, he clicks a button and Pouncer AI automatically generates a custom-tailored proposal that aligns his relevant skills with the needs of the client. With Pouncer AI, freelancers generate results faster with an AI system that gets better over time and does not require API access to Upwork. Even better, we are developing a Chrome extension that will allow us to extend our platform to other freelancing platforms beyond Upwork. So instead of a freelancer spending 20 minutes finding and applying for jobs, he spends less than 2 minutes getting work. And what makes us unique is that we provide a comprehensive AI solution that's specifically designed for the needs of freelancers. Further, we monetize that value by charging a monthly subscription fee between $30 and $100, targeting 218,000 customers out of the 4 million total customers in our market. To acquire these customers, we will use a combination of ads, influencer outreach, and webinars that target freelance developers. So why now? The freelancer market is growing at 16% per year, with 32% of freelancers using AI to write their proposals. And we know what a difference AI proposals can make. My co-founder and I have built successful startups in the past, and we have used Pouncer AI to generate more than $400,000 for our software development freelancing business. We know firsthand how Pouncer AI can help freelancers get more work fast. So would you like to know more about how we plan to grow the company? Then let's talk.
All right, fantastic. Thank you, Sean. Go ahead and take that down. We'll move over now to RiskMind AI.
Hi, everybody.
All right, Jerry, we can hear you.
Yeah, just pulling it up right now. Can you see my screen now?
I can. It's not full screen.
Sorry, how about now?
Perfect. Okay, 3, 2, go.
Perfect. Hi, everyone. At RiskMind AI, we're transforming the insurance industry through AI automation. I've been a chief risk officer, underwriter, and broker. And in 2017, I built the first billion-dollar crypto insurance program. My co-founder and I are both serial entrepreneurs with modest exits. And this is our second startup together. It's no secret that the insurance world is bogged down by inefficient manual processes that leaves data trapped in documents and silos. And this is why we created RiskMind, an AI platform that helps insurers and brokers access and analyze data, automate key workflows, and expand operating capabilities. With RiskMind, insurers and brokers can digitally transform its business with just one simple change in process. The norm today is that insurance documents are shared via emails. With RiskMind, instead of emailing documents, they're uploaded into RiskMind and a secure shareable link is generated, similar to how DocSend works. But what makes RiskMind so transformative is that when documents are uploaded, RiskMind automatically extracts and organizes all the unstructured data and makes it accessible through a ChatGPT-like interface, while enabling key workflow automation. Automation that includes the issuance of certificates, reviewing insurance policies, underwriting, and so much more. Ultimately, our AI platform is the wedge to achieving our long-term vision of creating a more open and efficient insurance marketplace. Our B2B SaaS platform delivers a 10x return for customers and has a TAM of nearly $3 billion, based on $400 MRR per seat and 600,000 potential seats, which represents 10% of today's insurance workforce. And we plan to capture 3.5% of the market and reach 100 million ARR by 2028. And this excludes our insurance marketplace, which we plan to launch in 2029. That has a TAM of $300 billion. RiskMind was built from the ground up with direct input from brokers and insurers, and we have 3 pilots lined up with 2 national brokers and 1 global insurer. We truly hope that you join us as we radically transform the insurance industry in a super pragmatic way. Thank you.
All right, great job, Jerry. Thank you. We'll move over now to Share That.
Great, thank you. Can you hear me?
I can, Will. Hello, hello.
Okay.
Let's see those slides.
Can you see?
Not yet.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, we can see it, but it's not full screen. There we are. All right, 3, 2, go.
All right. Hi, my name's Will. I'm one of the co-founders at Share That, the platform where fans, micro-influencers, and entrepreneurs get paid to post short-form clips for their favorite creators and brands. Our mission is to accelerate virality by empowering audiences to become collaborators. We've found that emerging content creators are willing to pay people to post short-form clips of their live streams, podcasts, videos, and more on social media. They want to do this to save time and increase engagement. The problem, though, is that there's no way to do this currently. Creators are manually tracking views and manually sending payouts. This is costing them a lot of time and money. That's where we come into play. Share That acts as the middleman that facilitates transactions between brands and clippers and makes it easier, faster, and cheaper. We offer value in the following features. We automatically track social media engagement metrics. We automate payouts from brand to clipper, and anyone can sign up in under a minute. We make money by charging an 8% fee on the income that sellers earn on our platform. So let's take a look at it at an example. Let's say All In Podcast wants to build their TikTok audience at scale. They decide to pay fans $10 for every 100,000 views that are generated on TikTok. John Doe, a fan of All In, creates a TikTok account and starts creating and posting clips of the podcast on his account. After John Doe posts clips on his TikTok account, he logs in to Share That and submits the links. This allows Share That to track how many views are generated and then calculate his payout. 4 days after submitting his first 10 clips, one of them with Jason talking about AI goes viral and gets 1 million views. John can expect to be paid $92 for this clip when the cycle ends. 3 weeks later, the cycle ends and 10 million views have been generated in total on TikTok. Share That will automatically charge All In $1,000 and distribute those funds to the clippers. Overall, a percentage of the 10 million viewers end up converting to regular viewers of the podcast on YouTube, which expands All In's reach. We launched about a month ago. We have 93 users so far, 1 active campaign, and we're in talks with several prospects. My background is in marketing at startups, and my brother Joe's background is in software engineering. Thanks for listening.
All right. Thank you so much. And next up, we will go over to shared sweeps. Craig. All right. I can see it. Hello, hello.
Hello, hello.
All right. 3, 2, go.
Hi, my name is Craig Martins, and I'm the founder of Shared Sweeps. So what is Shared Sweeps? Quick background. I was running an e-commerce company. We ran a large giveaway saying, if you buy a shirt on our website, you'll get entries to win a car. And the chart on the right shows how it impacted our sales. We 20x our run rate overnight. We learned that when you give someone the chance at winning a life-changing prize like $100,000, actions change dramatically. So we developed a brand new way for e-commerce brands to run large giveaways without any financial risk. We plan, launch, and finance a $100,000 giveaway. We then contract with several e-commerce brands for them to give entries into our giveaway by their customers seamlessly purchasing on their site. With Shared Sweeps, any e-commerce brand can now leverage a $100,000 giveaway as a marketing tool to drive sales. We're the only company doing this, and the $100,000 can be modified to fit the target market of each brand. So a golf brand might say 4 tickets to the Masters and $50,000 in cash, and an automotive brand might say an $80,000 car and $20,000 in cash. So how does a brand launch with Shared Sweeps? They choose their own version of a $100,000 giveaway. They can change their lead gen pop-up. They can create landing pages, email and SMS campaigns, paid advertising campaigns, or choose an affiliate strategy. With all this, they can launch in days, not months. How do we make money? We charge off attributable revenue, so it's all performance-based. So if a coupon code is used, a product category is purchased, an AOV triggers hit, a channel is purchased through a recurring subscription. So far, we have 1 giveaway under our belt, and we're currently running our second. We've done over $100,000 in revenue since launching in October. We've averaged $5,000 per month per customer on our first giveaway, and we currently have 16 customers live plus 5 additional contracts signed. Bunch of good tech partnerships in place. So the total addressable market, there are more than 4 million Shopify stores. 33,000 of these are on Shopify Plus, doing $235 billion in revenue. Over half of those are in the US and Canada. So assuming a $10,000 a year ACV, we need the following customers to hit the respective revenue. We have some larger customers who are forecasted at over 100,000 per year in revenue. So if we get the right customers, we can cut the column on the left by 10 while still achieving the revenue on the right. We have plans for international expansion and a huge opportunity to move into retail and other sectors. Here's the team. I have a deep experience in the e-commerce and tech space. I founded this company alongside Richard Rawlings of Gas Monkey Garage and the Discovery Channel's Fast and Loud. And we brought on Eric Autry as a co-founder who has a proven track record of sales in the e-commerce space. Thank you so much.
All right, wonderful. So that is our group. Over to Jason and Mike.
Mike, you could start.
So for Shared Sweeps, it's really interesting. I used to go to conferences, and there was a company that you could engage, and they would set up a deal where if you got a hole-in-one, you would win a car. And what was always fascinating to me is what are the economics behind what you have to charge, the probability of hitting a hole-in-one, and that company actually not going out of business. And so I think the challenge in your presentation is economically, at least I'll speak for Jason. We've never run a sweepstakes company. Who puts up the $100,000? What's the potential gross margin? What's the math under the hood that makes this business work? Because do you put up the $100,000 or does the e-commerce company?
No, I do. So they have no risk on the $100,000. We put that up personally. The hole-in-one example is more of a game of chance insurance game. So we might want to talk to Jerry about that one. But with what we've seen, $5,000 per month per customer is just a numbers game. And e-commerce is so broad that we can have a whole number, like we have literally hundreds of customers without really stepping on any toes.
So I saw on one of your slides, it said $100,000 in revenue, and it looked like 60,000 of cost for 40, which I'm inferring a 40% gross margin. Maybe I read it, but what do you think your gross margins are going to be in the long run?
It's going to be hard to tell right now. I think they're going to be 80+%. We have, once we get rid of the $100,000 cost, we're basically all profit minus some employee costs.
Interesting. Jason?
Yeah, I mean, we had one of these companies that we used when we were running newsletters, and they did a really clever idea. You would have 10 newsletters, run a sweepstakes. I think, Kelly, you remember this, like give away a laptop, and all the newsletters would say, hey, sign up, new signups get to get a laptop, and you would click sign up, and you would be signed up for Morning Brew, Inside, Daily Brief, and some other newsletters. You get 3 newsletters. They all get people to sign up. They then share the cost across it. So there is definitely something here. It's complicated. And
yeah, we've actually made it super simple. So the big difference in us is that a lot of these people are sign up related and we're purchase related. So when you do the sign up related ones, you get all these people who are signing up. There are coupon code sites where people are just fishing for these free giveaways.
Yeah, I was
we
about to
make
get to
sure
that.
that
You get all the
yeah,
sweeps.
It's junk. It's absolute
a-hole.
junk.
I think they call them sweeps a-holes or something.
And there's a dozen of them.
Yeah.
So
oh no, I didn't ask you a question. Let me finish, Craig. And so I think it's interesting. Pouncer AI, really interesting. A lot of these Chrome extensions are really clever, and it seems like an interesting business. If you can get people to pay $200 a year, I think you could have an interesting business here. I do wonder with these Upwork kind of services if it's all going to be automated anyway. So, but very interesting product. I could see those freelancers actually paying for it. So that's interesting. RiskMind, I think a lot of people are going after this. So I have one question here. What do you have to, is it $5,000 a year, RiskMind, Jerry?
Yeah, $400 per head.
Okay. And but have you had anybody pay for that yet, or is it still in
No.
development, the product?
No,
Okay.
we're still running our pilots.
So then what do you think you have to prove to them in order to get $5,000 from a broker? What do you have to prove to them?
Yeah. Essentially, our first workflow automation is the issuance of insurance certificates and automation of that process. If we can achieve that, that's going to basically cut out bodies right away off their payroll.
Is your customer the broker or the carrier? Because you
Both.
seem to talk about them both.
Both.
What are you selling to each?
Yeah, so for brokers, in terms of the automation, certainly the certificates, the policy reviews are the key workflow automations. And for the insurance companies, it's policy binder generation, endorsement generation, and also eventually underwriting and risk assessment.
Are you going after them at the same time, or
we're starting with brokers primarily is our main focus, but insurance companies are also showing a lot of interest.
Okay.
For Share That, have you run a campaign yet, or is it still you're still working on it?
Yeah. So we ran a campaign ourselves. We spent like $400 on that, and then we have a creator right now who's actively running a campaign.
And who are they running the campaign for, or is it the creators running a campaign to get other creators to promote that creator?
Yeah, so it's a Kick live streamer, and so he's essentially paying people to post clips of his live stream.
A Cake live streamer?
Kick, K-I-C-E-K.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
So those Kick live streamers make money when people give them roses or cowboy hats.
Exactly.
And they're paying other creators to tell people to watch their live stream.
Yeah, they're paying these short form clip creators to just take clips of their 4 or 5 hour live stream and then post it on TikTok just so they can get more exposure.
Got it. Do the people who are posting those clips have to put that it's an ad or disclose it according to the terms of services?
No.
Are you sure?
Yeah. So on like platforms like Twitter, I believe they do, but we don't support Twitter yet. But with TikTok, you don't have to disclose that.
You don't have to disclose in the United States that you're getting paid to post an ad.
Well, it's not necessarily an ad. You're just posting their content with their consent.
But you're getting paid to do so.
Right.
So you're sure the FTC doesn't require you to disclose that you're being paid to post?
I haven't looked into the legalities, but
Okay.
There's.
I'm going to just advise you as your, like a media savvy uncle. Check into that. Just generally speaking, anything you post and you're getting paid for, there's the terms of service on these services, and then there's what the FTC says. Generally speaking, it has to be, known that it's a paid promotion. I do think it's interesting because, a big successive part of All In was some fans created TikTok accounts, which we've since taken back over. But yeah, I do think that there is something here, and I encourage you to keep exploring it. All four, again, great companies. Gosh, this is a tough one because I think you're all figuring out product market fit and you all have interesting ideas. Mike, who do you have as your one and two?
My number 2 is RiskMind, and my number 1 is Shared Sweeps, because it just seems so out there that it could be a big return. It was original.
Yeah. Something about the Pouncer AI team I really like. I don't know if the business you figured out right now of using the Chrome extension to write better proposals is the actual business yet. I think you might find another business when you provide that tool to these freelancers, and it might be, yeah, you wind up competing at some point with Upwork or others, but I do think the team here feels like they understand the market pretty well. RiskMind is an obviously easy one to pick because there's so much money at stake. Share this. We have an investment in Grin. Do you see yourself as competitive with Grin? Not that that matters. We, in the accelerator stage, we don't worry too much about that, but is it competitive with Grin?
No, not necessarily.
Okay. And then shared sweeps is really interesting. I'm going to go, I think I like RiskMind and I like Pouncer, and the order in which I'll put them, I'm going to toss up. I could go either way. Does seem like Pouncer has a little more traction, so I'll go with Pouncer first and RiskMind AI second. I do think RiskMind could build a much bigger business because there's so much at stake in insurance, but I'll just go with my gut here. RiskMind number 2, Pouncer AI number 1. I do like the other two a lot. So really, I mean, that's a really difficult one. That's a difficult group. Let's go to group 4.
All right, group 4, our first founder is going to be from Spacious Studio. Perfect. We can see it. Can I hear you?
Yes.
All right. 3, 2, go.
Hi, I'm Yang, the CEO and co-founder of Spatia. Spatia wants to reshape the entire home improvement industry. So currently, the problem we are solving is we want to solve the lead generation. The home improvement business want to grow. Eric want to grow. But currently, homeowners spend a lot of money to drive the traffic. But it turns out it doesn't work well. 80% of the lead are wasted. And then they have to hire salesperson and designers to sell their product and service. The current lead generation and conversion process is highly costly and inefficient. So our solution is we are able to generate instant and personal design and quote in real time. And our AI consulting will hold 24 hours online to answer any homeowner's question. So this will largely increase the conversion rate and bring more leads. So far, we have 1 paying customer, 1 signed contract, and 3 letter of intent. So we charge per business 1,000 per month. And if we generate additional lead, we will charge them $50. So the total bottom-up TAM will be 2.4 billion for the US market. And now we're focusing at our first 100 early adopter, and our ideal customer are business with ARR larger than 5 million, and we start focusing from exterior and kitchen company. And the team had me previously work at Apple Vision Pro, and I got my PhD specifically in in deep learning and generative model. And my co-founder, Qianru, she has 11 years experience in managing and development, and she helps 20K homes host to upgrade their listing. And if you are a home improvement business, please scan the code and request a demo. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much. Go ahead and pull those slides down. Next up, we will have Speed AI. All right, Matt, we can see it, not full screen.
There we go.
Okay, perfect. 3, 2, go.
Hi, my name is Matt, and we are Speed AI, an app that creates adaptive training plans and coaching for runners. From the day you decide to register for a marathon to the moment you cross the finish line, we hold your hand every step of the way. Speed provides 3 things. We give you an adaptive, intelligent training plan, an AI-based coaching assistant, and the nutrition products you need to help you reach your goals. Meet Tim. He's a new runner who wants to run his first marathon in New York City. He runs occasionally and records his workouts on Strava, but doesn't know how to train. How often should he run? What distance? How fast? Should he be eating during his runs? And what are these super shoes he keeps hearing about? Tim signs up for Speed and answers a simple questionnaire about his fitness and goal race and connects his Strava. Speed incorporates all of this data to create a tailored training plan for the New York City Marathon. Along the way, the AI-assisted coaching has context about his current training and recovery and answers any questions he has. Tim receives his monthly nutrition box filled with energy gels and hydration products he can try in training, rather than learning at mile 15 of his race that his stomach isn't cooperating. With Speed, we're offering 3 tiers: a training plan for the first, additionally, on the second, an AI coaching assistant, And third, we're including the nutrition box. We built a waitlist of approximately 50 users we've been working with to test the app and plan to launch April 22nd. And we've launched our Instagram page and had a surprising amount of engagement from interested athletes, influencers, and even some brands reaching out to ask if they can include products. At Speed, we're a brother-sister team, both engineers with a love of endurance sports. Myself having competed and qualified for the Ironman World Championships, we have an interest in this space, and we're very excited to build a platform that we want to exist. Thank you so much. My name's Matt, and we are Speed AI.
All right, fantastic. Thank you so much, Matt. Next, we will go over to our last founder of the day, Daniel at Stock News.
Hello.
Okay, I can hear you, Dan.
Okay, it's pop coming up. 1 second.
All right.
Hi, I'm
3, 2, go. Oh,
Daniel.
sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, sorry. I am Daniel. I'm here to present StockNews.ai. Our AI turns financial news into insight for investors at scale. On Bloomberg Terminal alone, there are more than 1.5 million news articles published every day. That's 17 stories per second. So if you are a stock investor like John, he'll need to stay informed on the stock in his portfolio, but he will need to navigate a lot of noise. He will need to spend a lot of time reading those articles, and he will need to find insight to either help him make money or avoid losing money. That's why we built Stock News AI. Our AI will analyze financial news. And in these examples, our AI will be able to tell this particular articles has a potential negative and short-term impact to Tesla price, how relevant it is, and we use AI to categorize it and then provides you summaries. When we do this at scale, now we are able to provide a lot of different filters that allows John to focus on important articles that he actually cares about. And not only that, when John is away, our AI will analyze news 24/7 and then send a news alert when something important happens on the stock of his portfolio. In the end, John saves hours a day while making a better decision using Stock News AI. We are a SaaS business. We are a freemium model. We offer 7-day trial, and then we charge $40 for premium, and then $100 for professional investor, which offers API access. Our market is pretty big. As you can imagine, everyone invests stock in some sort of way. So we're looking at least $22 billion market opportunity attempt. So we launched about 4 months ago, but initially we only support 30 stocks, but we saw an overwhelming response. So recently we are expanding to covering more stocks. And last month we have about 2,000 visitors to our website. We have about 1,200 registration and 7 paying customers that verified that people are willing to pay for this. We are a team of professional product manager and engineers, and I personally have a finance degree. We are StockNews.ai. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you so much. Over to you, Mike and Jason.
All right. This coaching apps, we've been involved in a lot of coaching startups. Founders love doing coaching startups. We have one called Blaze that is like race car driving. We do golf ones. We have one for
the running one.
We have a running one, Vert. And we've had Marlowe, which didn't work out, was doing executive coaching. I think AI gives you a chance to give better coaching advice without human coaches. NutriSense has a nutrition coach offering. And so I do think there's a possibility to make these work. Pricing wise, it's really hard to build these businesses for $60 a year. I think they really need to be good enough to get to $100 to $200 a year for them to work at venture scale, but it could work. Who knows? I think it's just going to be tough. Spatial Studio, I might have a question there, which is, does House have these features for consumers already to do AI?
And no, so House is using traditional 3D modeling. It's quite professional. It's hard for homeowner to use that.
And you see your service selling to homeowners who want to do renovations to just kind of play with it, or do you see it as being professionals?
So we'll sell to home improvement business. So what we develop is one line code. They can embed it on their website. The user are homeowner.
Got it. So I have an interior decorator, or whose website would you enable to do this kind of work?
So currently we're focusing on exterior and kitchen and bathroom because interior is more complicated.
Got it. So a kitchen and bathroom would be an architect or a general contractor's website. So a general contractor is your target audience?
Yes, currently another customer is a general contractor, but they are doing roof and exterior deco, whatever.
So do general contractors have like websites, or are they just like,
58% of them have that website.
Wow. So almost half of them don't have websites. So it seems like, I wonder if just providing a website tool for them that has these features might be easier for them to understand. Is there somebody who provides websites for general contractors?
There are marketing agency, they provide website. So we're going to be partnership.
Yeah, see, this is interesting. I think you might be missing the actual real opportunity here, which is to just create a great website for general contractors that has these features built into it, because they don't even have websites. And if they do, they're probably outdated, or they might just be on a, beautiful Squarespace site, but that, you could create a verticalized, service just for that and then include other features in it and just leapfrog everything. We have an investment in a company that does this for order ship dealers. What's the name of the company?
It's Motive.
Motive. And so I'll have Press share that link with you, or you can pull it up right now. But that might be like a really good company for you to study. They provide like a lot of advanced tools, but in the vertical of just auto ship dealers. And they too go to agencies to build their websites one-off. But ridemotive.com, you'll see, provides like a really robust tool for them. And so I do think there's like a vertical here where you could get to millions of dollars in revenue very quickly, $5,000, $10,000, $500 a month, $1,000 a month, to make them a world-class website, with the promise of, if I get you one customer, you're going to do great. So I am going to.
I had a question for Stock News.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Go ahead.
So, Daniel, you only do 30 stocks. I'm divining from that there's an effort to add on the stocks. What does it cost you every time you want to add on another stock, and what will it take to get you to support all the stocks on all the exchanges?
So initially we start with 30 stocks because we don't want to test the water. So we only have like top stocks initially, but we recently expanded to coverage all the stocks in the United States. And it doesn't really cost us that much, to be honest. Initially, we thought that analyzing that large amount of news would cost us a lot, but it turns out to be actually okay. So we recently already expanded to all the stocks in the US.
So is that every stock on every exchange in the US?
The top three.
Top three exchanges: NASDAQ, Dow.
Pretty much 8,000 stocks. That is pretty much most of the US stock.
Should update your presentation. That's a good piece of news.
Yeah, I think Stock News is interesting, and I'm working on some things with Inside that are related in terms of trying to use AI to find news out there and summarize it. It's slow going right now, and I do think it's going to be pretty quickly a commodity. So I think it's going to be pretty challenged. It's a difficult one for me, but I'm going to go with spatial first. And I'll go with Speed AI second. What do you got, Mike?
My number one is Stock News, and my number two is Speed AI.
Okay, there it is, folks. So overall, gosh, I got to see who our number ones were. Can you guys just give us a list of our number ones? And we'll just, I guess, start to look at our ones and twos here. Pouncer AI, RiskMind. Maybe you guys could just put them all in one location so we could view them. Public board in one review.
Are we doing 1 and 2 or 1, 2, and 3? What are we doing, Jason?
I guess we could do 1, 2, 3 for the entire cohort. And again, this is, very early. So these are just early indications of success, but we like to give people some feedback here. And in group one, let's see, did they put them all? Oh, here we go. Give us a list of our number ones and our number twos. Great. I really like public board. I thought that was weird and fun, and I haven't seen it before.
Whenever I can do my three whenever you want.
Oh, go ahead.
So my number three is AI Synapse. My number two is public board, and my number one is clean bands.
Huh.
I just think there's all three, for clean bands especially, there's something really interesting about creating something new there that will extend to insurance down the road. I love the way Tesla has insurance by driving habit with real-time data as opposed to actuarial data. And I think clean bands can do something similar for not only maintaining cleanliness and reducing sickness, but also compliance for your insurance policies down the road.
Man, this is a hard one for me.
And like you, I think public boards is cool. I mean, you and I know somebody whose family made all their money in the billboard industry initially. I'll tell you afterwards.
There's just something very weird about public boards that I like.
You think of elevators.
Yeah. Let's see. I do like Spatia. I'm gonna give. And some of these are very early, so I have a tendency to go with the ones that have more proven out.
You all did really well for Jason to be taking this long, I have to tell you.
Yeah, I'm trying to be thoughtful here.
Should all be really proud.
I know I like public boards, so I'm going to put them in my top three. So put public boards up there. I'm going to do this. So public boards is going to be in my top three. So just put that up there for me to just see it up there. And which company was doing the digital SDR with Silicon Valley Bank?
AI Synapse.
Okay, so I can put AI Synapse up there. So just for my top three, put those two up there in the overall voting. You have to put what number it is, just so I can see them there. So those two are up there. I know I love those two. And then I got to figure out who's going to be my three, and then I'll rank them. And right now, I do like clean bands. I do like Risk Mine, but super early. I do like Spatia super early. So it's between, I think, and I like One Review's Vision. But I like to go for the weird things that I haven't seen before. And that puts me at clean bands and Spatia. So put clean bands and Spatia up there. And those are my four. Doesn't mean I don't like the other ones and wouldn't invest in them. I just think those are the ones that are capturing my attention. I will go public boards number one. Something just weird about it. I get a sense. I will go Spatia number two, and I will go with clean bands number three. Honorable mention AI Synapse. None of this means anything, folks. It's just for us to force ourselves to start to make decisions. And so what you need to understand about how hard our job is, look at how hard it is, like how we have to suffer over just trying to make a basic order here and to think about these companies. But great job to everybody.
Great job.
Really impressive. I'm sorry it took so long to do all this, but
there's no wrong answer. That's why it's so hard.
Yeah.
You could pick any three and they would have been reasonable.
I think that's right. I'll take two questions. Go ahead and ask a question if you have one in the Q&A box or the chat box. Take two questions just about, raising money or startups or generally about life. And people can chat in the chat room, yeah? So, and it could come from the public in the YouTube or the LinkedIn. So you can ask a question in any of those locations, and Bianca or Kelly or Presh, go ahead and just read Mike and I a question. We'll take questions from anywhere, any of those locations, people watching live, people who are in the cohort right now asking a question, or on YouTube. Go ahead and ask a question, anybody.
We've got one from Eric.
Okay. Let's hear it.
Yeah, thanks. I'm just looking to understand the best way to chat with either yourself or your team on a bit of strategy coming up. Cohort was amazing. It's finished now. Moving forward, love to keep that energy going.
Yeah, get that a lot. So people who are watching this, Founder University's 12-week program, we wind up investing in about 10% of the companies, 5% of the companies, 20% of the companies, depends on the cohort. And so if we invest in the company, then you're in the founder Slack with us. We assign 2 people from our investment team, primary, secondary contact, and we just have those discussions in the Slack room. If we're not investors, keep sending us weekly updates on your progress until we do become investors. How do we become investors? You convince us through your updates to invest in your company. So that would be the next way to go about it. And I think in your case, running a test is going to be what's going to convince people and continuing to build the product. So how many co-founders do you have in your team?
One co-founder, there's 2 of us and a small team.
Got it. So you have 2 co-founders. You haven't raised money yet?
No, we got about 120 grand from a community to help us get started, but not for equity. It was a grant.
Got it. Oh, so you got a grant. Great. Non-dilutive financing. Love it. So what you really, I think, want to do is try to get into an accelerator next. That's what I would suggest. Because I do think right now it's hard to raise a seed around just on an idea. Outdoor advertising, you're going to have a lot of cynicism around your idea as well. So getting into an accelerator would be, if you were like my brother or something or cousin, I'd say get into an accelerator and try to deploy the 25, 50, 125K, whatever it is, to get a customer and to, build out, the software and get some amount of product market fit. That's my best advice. Mike, any thoughts?
No, I think you're spot on. I mean, have you gone through a pretty intensive sales effort to try and get a seed round going?
We haven't gone for raising capital yet. We've been focusing on the MVP and early customers.
I think that process is very educational. In Jason's company, Inside.com, they ran a great series. What was it called, Jason? Meet the Funder, or
Meet Our Fund. Yeah.
Meet Our Fund, where you can watch on like double speed VCs pitching to founders who they would, about their strategy. And I would make a short list of people that you think would match, with your idea, and I would just start meeting with them.
Thank you.
Getting early feedback, it will be very valuable to you, because as Jason said, you might get some initial consternation. You're gonna have to do a little bit of education about the market. I know outdoor billboards are a tremendously large market, but it might not be known to everybody.
Yeah. Okay, let's take one more question.
We have a question from Bob on YouTube. How has your advice to startups shifted throughout the year? What is different from when you started investing?
Well, I started investing just over 10 years ago. When I started investing, there were much fewer companies and a smaller number of investors. We've had this massive increase in the number of venture funds, massive increase in the number of startups. And so it's harder to stand out. But at the same time, it's easier to get product market fit, and it's easier to get an MVP done. So I think the most important piece of advice I have is to get 2 or 3 builders together in today's market and be, getting a product to market and showing product velocity. I think people are very tuned into the gaming of the gamesmanship of pitching a startup. And so the days of, telling a great story and getting money, those are now gone. And it's more of a meritocracy based on, can you get 3 builders together, build an MVP, even if you're at your existing jobs, 1 person's full-time, 2 people are part-time, but the product is constantly moving forward and making progress, because that's what you're up against. So if you're just a solo founder with an idea and you build a pitch deck, you just seem out of place in 2024 because the game on the field has changed. You're up against people like you saw today who are actually building products and putting them in market. So how do you hope to compete with that if the terms are the same and one person's got 3 co-founders, 2 of them are developers, 1 of them's a UX designer, and you're just an idea person saying, give me $500,000 and I'll ship it to an outsourced agency to build a product. You just seem antiquated, is what I would say. So my best advice, get two great co-founders, the three of you go, three builders, start building something and have product velocity, and you're touching customers with some sort of MVP or simple product. And you're proving that you're not going anywhere and that you can actually build and you stand out from the rest of the field. Mike, your thoughts?
Well, certainly the trend has been to go from just build it really fast, spend as much money as you can, to build something where you have demonstrated revenue, profit. But I think the one constant throughout time has been to have good unit economics. Like understanding that gross margin is a reflection of your unit economics, and understanding that you need positive unit economics to eventually be a successful company is critical. But there's certainly less money being thrown around now, and there is a greater expectation that you have a vision as to when you'll be break even, be in default alive, and that you have a little bit more respect for just becoming a profitable company and not trying to grow just on borrowed funds.
All right, there you have it, folks. We'll see you all next time. Bye-bye.
Great pitches, everyone.
Great pitches. Talk to you soon.
Thank you. Thank you. And if we happen to still be live, apply to Founder U at founder.university.